We have seen a rebound come in. The dollar index has declined and markets are taking some sense of positiveness from the G8 announcements where they said that they would not let Greece go out of the Eurozone. Also, markets are awaiting for that Eurozone officials meeting in Brussels in May 23rd, and that also is expected to keep the markets jittery till then. But today seems to be a good day. You have Brent crude prices holding more than 0.5% on the higher side. Ditto is the case with NYMEX as well. We did see prices go below $91, but holding nearly a percentage point higher at this point in time. The gold prices are holding at around 1 week highs. We are just inches away from that psychological important 1600 mark, and good turnaround is what you have seen in case of the base metal prices as well. Not so much for silver, down 0.5%, but watch out for copper prices, 1.5% of gains coming in for that one at this point in time. Also take a look at the rupee, because the opening while was on the flat side, we have seen some decline come in for that one. The Indian rupee has declined more than 0.25% or nearly 0.5% at this point in time. Let's get in then Mr. Hanish Sinha. He's Head Trade and Commodity Intelligence Group from NCMSL, and he joined us in the studios. Hanish, hi, welcome to the show. The agro commodities has been one space which has been very, very choppy, especially the chana prices, which have been on the choppy side, while the output is expected to be on the lower side this time around. But the kind of curbs that have come in from the government and the FMC as well have been putting pressure onto that commodity.
Right. See, overall, if you see the fundamental side of chana, it's already on the bullish side. If we track the international market production system, it's also on the lower side. So we are expecting an upside move on chana prices. Another 300 to 400 rupees on the upside will be a very commendable target in the near future, basically.
Hanish, how are you looking at the whole of pulses? Because in summers, this is one sector that tends to gain a lot of momentum. And apart from that, this time around, the international prices are also on the higher side. So if you look at on a monthly or a quarterly basis, what kind of a percentage move are you expecting?
On a monthly basis, I am expecting to an upside movement of around 5 to 7% on the minimum side. We can expect a 10% to 15% also on the higher side, just because of the supply pressure that will be created in the market. And the monsoon, basically, how it develops. Right now, the current reports are coming as is not so much encouraging as it was previously around 10 to 15 days earlier. We are just, as per the reports of the monsoon developments and all, we can expect there is some catch in between the lines, and we can, if there is something abnormal going on in the monsoon, then we can expect a sharp surge in the prices overall in the pulses sector.
Well, that always is the case. If the monsoon is not as per the predictions, you do see that gain up happening in case of the agro space. But Hanish, how would you look at the edible oil space? Because we did see record highs for last couple of months. The month of May actually has started with some consolidation, some profit taking in soybean, soya oil prices. How do you look at this sector going forward?
Overall, in the edible oil complex, the market is generally right now guided by the US sentiment, basically. So planting reports are already on, and since the higher planting reports have been developed, so accordingly the market has gone a correction, basically. But this can't be a long-term trend, basically, on the downside. I can just feel that the market will consolidate at some levels around 2 to 3% more on the downside will be a very good level to buy for a long-term investment, basically.
How do you look at the prices going forward? Because there have been those rumblings, Anish, about soybean going up to 3,500 and plus kind of levels. Do you see that coming yet again?
In near future, if we talk about a 10 to 15 days outlook, I am certainly looking at much beyond that level. I can expect the market to test more on the higher side, basically, and slightly lower on the downside, basically.
How do you look at the spices space? Because while we were hearing about that good production coming in for jeera, the exporters' demand in the recent days has been supportive. Prices have been going up in case of pepper as well, even though the Vietnam crop is out in the markets. So many of these spices actually seem to be doing quite well.
The spices, if you take a long-term intraday view or a short-term view, that can't be so much lucrative for investment as such. But if you are planning for a long-term, around 3 months to 4 months down the line view, then we should certainly be very bullish on these counters. More specifically, if you are one should be bullish on pepper as well as in turmeric. But these are the two counters I'm expecting the market to surge up certainly in the next 3 to 4 months time.
Hanish, how would you look at cardamom and jeera kind of spices as well? Even coriander, for that matter, has seen very good attractions or open interest in the recent days. How do you look at these?
Basically, cardamom, I expect a certain more profit booking to be happening in the near future, basically. And once the market comes down to below 1100 or around 1000, then again the upsurge will start. So at current levels, one can be on the shorter side. But if you are talking about a long-term view, then 1000 to 1200 levels would be a good level to enter into the market.
And what kind of an upside are you watching?
The top side, we can expect anything between 1600 to 1800 levels.
Okay. And how about the mentha prices? Because we did see record highs into that one as well, and then a sharp bout of that profit taking. Now there has been some consolidation today, again on a lower circuit. How do you look at this choppiness into this commodity? What are the fundamentals you are watching out for, and what price view do you have on this one?
See, currently the mentha is going on the downside phase. I think the downside movement would likely to be continued. In the near 15 to 20 days time, I am expecting another downfall of 200 to 300 rupees on the downside. Once the level comes below 1000, that will be a good level to invest. And a long-term investment can be happening anything between 1850 to 900 levels. That will be a very good level to enter into the market with a long-term target of around 1600 to 1800 levels. Again, and that's outlook should be for at least 6 to 8 months time.
Hanish, how is NCMSL as of now looking at the monsoon report that we have been getting? I mean, this is the major report that you will be analyzing at this point in time. What's your takeaway from that?
See, overall, I'm analyzing these monsoon developments for the last around 3 to 4 months time, and quite curiosity, with a lot of curiosity, basically, I'm working in international reports. And as of my view, basically, that monsoon won't be a very normal one. I'm expecting slight normal set-ins can be there, but a dry phase could be expected anything between the mid-August to mid-September. That will be very much crucial for the kharif crops.
So if we are looking at for important crops like rice and soybean and sugar, all of that, do you think which according to you could really be badly hit in that case?
The badly hit crop would be a soybean crop, basically. Rice, I don't, just because of the huge stocks with the government hands, basically, I don't expect much more volatility in the rice prices. But soybean obviously have counter to be watched.
So what kind of a view do you have onto that one? Because if you look at the Malaysian palm oil prices, those have been on the higher side. And if we are looking at some monsoon threat coming in for this sector as well, as you said, 5 to 7% of an increase coming in for the near term. But if the monsoon does not go as planned, what kind of a range would you be working in?
If there is some confirmation on the monsoon side, basically, that the monsoon is not going to be as such normal, and the dry phase, which I am fearing, if it comes true, then we can see the soybean prices rising up to around 44 to 4600 levels.
All right, Hanish, we'll let you go at that. Thank you so much for joining us. That's the view coming in from NCMSL. They are buying into chana and pepper and even soybean today, but a sell over on mentha is what they're expecting for that commodity for the day today.